Hey everyone, and welcome to the first ever Eventex Creative Week. Let's start with some donuts. Yes, you heard right, donuts. We can't treat you with some, but they play a major role in our first case study, Google Home Mini Tour. The event is a proud finalist in 3 categories at the 9th Annual Eventex Awards: Launch Event, Interactive Outdoor Event, and Customer Engagement Event. Here you have the perfect example of a great concept, engaging environment, gamification, and of course, them irresistible donuts. To promote the new Google Home Mini, MAS Event and Design created a fully interactive pop-up donut shop that gave guests a chance to interact with the product and take home a delectable prize, either a donut or a superhero, an actual Google Home Mini device. See what they did.
Hey Google, beatbox.
Okay, put your hands together for MC sound file.
Oh my god. Hey Google, tell me about my day.
Hey Google, how many times was Leo nominated? Hey Google, can you rap?
Hey Google, what's Picasso's full name?
Pablo Picasso's full name is Pablo Diego José Francisco de Paula Juan Nepomuceno María de los Remedios Cipriano de la Santísima Trinidad Ruiz Picasso.
Oh yes!
We got one! Let's go! My lucky underwear. Paid off, lady.
Oh, it's so cute.
This is everything that I wanted today.
Just an amazing pop of the design, and donuts, who can resist donuts? So donuts and a mini, perfect combo.
It's like a Google which talks actually.
Yeah.
That's it? That's crazy.
I was here for the donuts, so that way there's no way I'm getting disappointed.
I love this little thing, it's amazing. I'm just ready to get it home and use it, ask it a bunch of questions.
Hey Google.
Hey Google. Hey Google.
Hey Google.
Hey Google.
Hey Google.
Hey Google.
Hey Google. Hey Google.
Hey Google.
They say you don't understand someone until you've walked a mile in their shoes for a reason. That's exactly the ingenious concept of the In Your Bones campaign by the Embassy OIC, created for Save the Children. The event was an experiential installation, reproduction of the room of a child who witnesses domestic violence. Setting, storytelling, and technology merged in a unique and intense way to make visitors experience firsthand and in a very profound way what those children really feel. The results? A deeply emotional and highly engaging campaign with real impact. The event is a finalist in several categories at Eventex Awards: Pop-Up Event, Experiential Event, and Cause Event. Let's have a look.
Ladies and gentlemen, conmigo stringi. Ti prego, calmati. No, calmati.
In recent years, 427,000 children have witnessed cases of domestic violence in Italy. This dramatic phenomenon is often ignored and tends to remain closeted within the walls of the family home. This is why Save the Children decided to recreate the bedroom of a young victim, Alessandro, with the aim of bringing his traumatic experience to life by entering into his life and his room to feel inside your bones what he really felt. On entering, visitors experience what Alessandro hears and feels as a series of details, reconstructed in consultation with child psychologists, reveal that something is deeply wrong inside his room. However, it is only by sitting at his desk that you enter the most profound part of the experience. In fact, coming into contact with the desk activates bone conductor technology, which, by transmitting the sound of violence through bone conduction, enables you, the visitor, to experience his world firsthand.
No, abbassa la voce che Ole ci sei.
Non me ne frega un cazzo di tuo figlio.
No, non dire così, non dire così.
Guarda.
Cosa?
Guarda, questa casa è tenuta da schifo. Ma lo sai che io mi spacco la schiena per voi due?
Sì, lo so.
E cos'è che mi ringrazi?
Basta!
Bravo!
Basta!
Così che
Basta!
The installation immediately made headlines, bringing the problem to people's attention. Because the wall of silence must be demolished to prevent domestic violence from remaining within the walls of the family home.
Pretty impressive, isn't it? Now to explore an extraordinary conference that was all about the mutual empowerment between people and technology. Elko MeetUp brought together over 600 employees, partners, and clients of Elko Group into an unusual venue to celebrate the company's 25th anniversary in a highly engaging way. Here's a closer look.
Latvia, the Baltic States. Year 2018. Elko Group is one of the region's largest distributors of IT products and solutions, represented in 12 countries. This year, they celebrate the 25th anniversary of a successfully growing business. But what does Elko really stand for? What are the company's future perspectives and strategies? The anniversary event objectives were sharing the company's approach and vision, creating a festive opportunity for Elko stakeholders to meet and exchange business ideas, facilitating inspiration and new insights. The celebration was about the mutual empowerment between people and technology. It was about teaming up, about celebrating and re-energizing the Elko community. It was about helping them fulfill the new goal to grow smarter. 4 events in 3 days. Opening dinner for delegates, Elko Meetup Conference, Elko Gala, Open Door Day in Elko HQ. 600 participants from 24 countries, including Elko employees, partners, and clients. 53 partners and sponsors were integrated into the content. A registration system that divided participants into 12 groups based on the benefits provided. A mobile app. A non-traditional venue, 3 stages, 6 lounge areas, 20 vendor stands, a play zone area for partner product placement. Which details are we most proud of? During the registration process, we collected participant life mottos. Being at the event allowed us to examine Elko community's personal beliefs. The photo stand. After taking guest photos at 2 Elko events, we used them to decorate the final gala dinner venue. The VR bar, where one could choose a cocktail in virtual reality and enjoy them in actual reality. Badges that allowed checking in by entering events, a lottery for boosting expo stand attendance, surprise boxes with sponsor gifts. Photos of all photo stand attendees were delivered to their email addresses simply by scanning their badges. Swings for speed dating, a new approach of networking with each other. The Silent Conference, an innovative way to keep participant attention focused on the content using headphones. A heat map that displayed the event's most visited places and routes in real time. An attendee counter reported the number of guests inside the building. Results? Elko management proudly presented best future strategy practices, leading the companies in all other countries in the same direction. Received 146 thank you letters from participants and speakers. We shared the greatest event organizing practices with Elko offices in 12 countries. Grow smarter. Empower people.
Time for the first talk for today. And it's about your most important asset as an event organizer, your team. Watch Sue Brady, president of Badass Meetings and Media, in her talk, No.Dead.Bodies.
No.Dead.Bodies. It's how I like to measure an event's success. Seems pretty obvious, right? Okay, you've put your A-team together, done months of pre-pro, held your production meetings, and devised 42 contingency plans. Now it's show day, and it's flawless. Not one miscue. You've met all timelines, budgets, and client expectations. But guess what? You failed. Big time. But wait, how could you give this event anything other than an A+? Well, dead bodies are everywhere. I'm talking about your crew, the people you trust with your life, but more importantly, your event. They're a bloody mess. How did this happen? You didn't take care of them. And as the producer, that, my friend, is on you. So how do you fix it? Leadership rule number 1. Take care of your people. Feed them. And I'm not talking about pizza and a sorry excuse for a salad. Make sure your crew is on the client's meal list. They are well deserving of decent nutrition. Let them sleep. Let the client know that the rehearsal crew that's working into the wee hours of the morning, those are the same people that are going to be running the event in just a couple of hours. And don't even think about rehearsing until you've done a tabletop and the client has signed off on all the content. I promise you, things will go much more smoothly. Reduce stress. It's as simple as making sure everyone has a hotel room. After a long day on a plane, complete with children kicking the back of the seat, and that guy having a call on speaker at full volume, no one wants to show up and find out that their hotel hasn't been booked. Look, the client gets it. They're nice humans. They don't want to starve people of either nutrition or sleep. So go ahead, do your job, take care of your team. Your crew will thank you, respect you, and be more diligent. And best of all, your client will notice.
Don't miss the Eventex Awards 2019 online ceremony. It will be like nothing you've seen before. Next up, a case study, the World Education Congress 2018, organized by Meetings Professionals International. The Congress was an unparalleled experience, setting new industry standards as an experiential, educational, and business-rich opportunity.
For WEC 18 in Indianapolis, MPI promised its attendees a redesigned, interactive, and engaging educational experience unlike anything the meeting and event industry has ever produced. Here's how they did it. Using the Event Canvas design methodology, the MPI team identified all WEC stakeholders, including industry planners, suppliers, sponsors, and the host destination, to make sure that the overall experience of WEC 18 delivered ROI to all participants. To prime attendee expectations and fuel excitement for the event, the MPI team developed a bold and vibrant creative positioning, using color and fluid imagery to represent the experiences that attendees would have at WEC. All creative deliverables, from promotion to social media to on-site activations, carried through this exciting look and feel, setting up the big reveal at the show. But before that big reveal, attendees were still treated to big changes from WEC's past. They were welcomed immediately when they stepped off the plane at the WEC 18 lounge, where they could relax, eat, and pick up their registration badge. That evening, the opening evening celebration featured local Indianapolis food, arts, and music hosted outdoor at White River State Park. Attendees then started their first day with an all-new pep rally. Opening and closing each day, the pep rallies were shorter than regular general sessions and focused on pumping up the crowd with activities and inspiration, featuring top speakers from inside and outside the industry. After the pep rally, it was time for the big reveal. The WEC villages were opened and the all-new experience began. Designed to bring to life unique engagement techniques, environments for connecting, and new ways of doing business, the WEC villages showcased an open floor layout where education sessions and networking took place simultaneously. WEC 18 finished with a bang at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway closing celebration, complete with a trip around the racetrack. Overall event satisfaction was 93%, 3% higher than the previous WEC. Attendees spent an average of 37 minutes in education sessions, indicating high interest and engagement. The mobile app's adoption was a staggering 85%, a strong indicator of continual app use, and was a positive sign for overall WEC engagement by participants. The goal of WEC 18 was to provide attendees a higher level of personalization and customization for their experience without sacrificing the necessity of useful business and learning. And we certainly did just that. WEC 18 was a tremendous success and a game changer for meeting and event design.
And now for something different. 4 giant marionettes taking over a city. No, it's not a movie, but a spectacular event that took place in Liverpool. After 25 years performing around the world's leading street theater, Liverpool's Dream Giant Spectacular, organized by the City Council, was an engaging big-scale show befitting the city's 10th anniversary celebrations of European Capital of Culture. This became Liverpool's most successful and biggest free public event to date, which sets it up nicely as finalists in the UK Event and People's Choice Event categories. Do you think your events or services deserve the ultimate benchmark in the events world? Then pre-register for Eventex Awards 2020 for a chance to grab the prestigious accolade. You submit your entries later and can change categories at any time. To register, visit eventex.co. As with the previous case study, this one is again a proof that events and performing arts are always a winning combination. Our next case study represents spectacular brand activation that Sumo 11 created for Chivas in multiple venues across Malaysia. The Chivas Collab ETM Electronic Dance Music and Theater is a series of events that changed entirely the club scene in Malaysia. It is a mixture of theater and music, combined with high-octane audio and stimulating visual effects. Enjoy a glimpse of the show.
The Malaysian clubbing scene lacked innovation. Chivas Regal aimed to fill the vacuum with a game-changing entertainment genre. The Chivas Regal brand experienced the power of collaboration, brings together people with contrasting skills to create unexpected moments of pleasure. Introducing electronic theatrical music, theater on steroids, an experiential musical extravaganza combining electronic dance music and theater. The event agency conceived, produced, and executed Chivas Collab ETM parties for 48,000 clubbers in 22 venues across 8 cities nationwide over 3 months. We collaborated with top club owners and made them amongst the first to unveil this new genre. Small, medium, or large clubs, we improvised for each venue. We unveiled new characters and customized the storyline at different venues to keep content fresh. At each venue, the agency crew was on duty for more than 24 hours. After each event, we repeated the process of dismantling, transporting, and reassembling at a new venue in a different city. Nightly events and consecutive weekends, interstate travels, late-night performances. We could not afford for any of the performers to fall ill. The show must go on. Ladies and gentlemen, electronic theatrical music. Give it up for ETM.
Our second talk for today is by Kevin Finke, owner of Experience Willow, an agency on our Eventex All-Stars Index, who will tell us how to use Agile design to create exciting events and experiences.
Hello everyone, my name is Kevin Finke, and I'm the owner of Experience Willow. It's an Eventex All-Star agency and experience design firm located in Atlanta, Georgia in the United States. I'm really honored to be part of Eventex Creative Week, and I'm very excited to be shooting my short video right here inside the Cox EX Lab, short for the Cox Employee Experience Lab. And this is a space that I created with my clients and partners at Cox Enterprises to help them start to deploy something that we call Agile design. And the purpose is to use Agile design to transform their employee events and experiences across the globe. Today, what I want to do is not focus on design, but I want to focus more on Agile, because I know that's on the hearts and minds of people like you in the event world. How can you start to be more agile and productive in the ways that you create event solutions for your clients? So let's go back here to those mobile whiteboards, and I'm going to do a little bit of brief history and an introduction to Agile, where it all started and what it all means. 17 software developers in February of 2001, just 18 years ago, gathered in the mountains in Utah, right here in the United States. They were determined to leave that resort where they gathered with a new way of developing software. And what they came up with was something they called the Agile Manifesto. Now, the Agile Manifesto is simply a set of values and principles, a new way of working, behaving as developers. So the 8 values you see right here, and what they decided as developers is that all 8 values are important. But if they were going to change the way that they develop software, they needed to start valuing the values you see here on the left more than the ones on the right. So they wanted to start valuing individuals and interactions over process and tools, working solutions over comprehensive documentation. They wanted to value customer collaboration more than negotiating contracts. And they wanted to value responding to change over following a plan. So values are guideposts. So these are the guideposts that Agile, or teams that are working in Agile ways, are valuing these. But in order for values to come to life, we need to understand actions, ideas, behaviors, and that's where the principles come in. So there are 12 Agile principles, and when I work with my clients, I like to divide them into 3 groups. The first group of 4 I put under the category of team. Second, process, and third, work. So let's quickly go through those. Team, there are 4 principles: motivated team, face-to-face, self-organization, and working together. For process, constant pace, simplicity, welcome change, and reflect and adjust. And for that last bucket of work, which is another word for maybe output or solutions, we have working solutions, good design, customer satisfaction, and deliver frequently. Now here's the rub. In order for you to become Agile and to start out thinking about all 12 of these principles at once, that's really difficult. So when I work with my clients, I like to encourage them to take baby steps. And one of the ways I get them to do is to work as a team to pick one principle in each of these buckets. Then they start to build their own Agile manifesto. So let me show you how that works. So you can put up all these principles on a whiteboard, anywhere, on a bulletin board. You can do it online, however you want to find an environment for that. But what you want people to do is vote for the one principle they think that you should start to honor as a team. Let's say you have 7 people on your team. One person votes for self-organization, another for working together, maybe 4 people vote for motivated team, and 1 person for face-to-face. What you've just done as a team is chosen motivated team as the one Agile principle that you want to start working together in the way that you guys operate as a team. Then what you want to do is think about behaviors. So a motivated team is about building projects around motivated teams, giving them an environment and support they need so that they can start to trust one another and get the work done. Then how might you do that? How might you build trust? How might you create an environment? And so start to think about behaviors, ideas, thoughts that you would have in order to do that. One of them, and maybe you could use a post-it note. So maybe you'll have a series of post-it notes that your team will start to put up here. But one of those might be around, let's say, recognition. One of the ideas you might have is that you guys want to be a team that recognizes each other, that recognizes great work. Maybe other ideas might be around communication or the way and how you work together in meetings and things of that sort. But what matters, though, is that you do this not only for team, but you do the same for process and you do the same for work. Then what you've started to develop is your own Agile manifesto. So I know that's been a really quick, very brief introduction to Agile, but I hope it's been helpful. What I encourage you to do is go online to the original website set up by those 17 developers, agilemanifesto.org. There's a lot of great information there, and then just start Googling. You'll find blog articles, research articles, and you'll start to listen to other teams in the event world, for instance, on how they're starting to use Agile to create better solutions, more effective solutions for their clients. I wish you the best of luck out there.
Do you run awards, applications, call for papers, grants, scholarships, funding, or other programs? Aren't you sick of chaotic communication, hundreds of emails, and messy documents? This can be time-consuming and tedious at the very least. Say hi to Evolotto, a next-gen submission and evaluation platform that streamlines all your work. No matter if you've got 10 or a bazillion submissions, we've got your back with the right tools. It's super simple and quick. Set up your program and tailor it to your needs in minutes. Then create a custom web page to collect submissions, or embed the form on your website. All fitting your brand's look and feel. Voila! Now applicants can start registering for your program. They get a personal profile to create, edit, and send their submissions with a click. And you manage submissions like never before, equipped with everything and more to make your job a breeze. The evaluation process is a walk in the park too. Customize it to your liking. Then invite judges and assign submissions to them at any time. Now the sweetest part. Monitor and analyze detailed statistics and grow your success. Did we mention Evolado works with your favorite apps on the web? Yep, you can connect it to the tools and services you use every day. Evolado is a joy for everyone involved. Applicants and judges will thank you for the convenient and quick system you've provided. And you and your team will enjoy the smart way to run programs, yet within your budget. Start working on your next program right away. No training needed. Sign up for free at evolado.com. Next, another case study, a great example of an employee engagement event. Creative Pro was tasked with organizing an event for the employees of HB Revis that was moving offices. The goal: create positive emotions towards the new workplace and communicate the message that the company really cares about the well-being of their employees. So the agency came up with a great idea. Take the employees to the construction site of their new offices and create an engaging and informative event. Here's the on-site meeting project.
We're sure that you've all at some point in your lives had to move to a new workplace. We're not talking about changing employer. However happy you are in your current office, you had to go to a new quarter, new building, new office, or even new colleagues. At first sight, it's maybe not such a big deal, but then the questions slowly arise, like, who will I be sitting next to? HB Revis is an international real estate company that specializes in the provision of workspaces. It delivers clients with the highest high-tech, smart, and innovative solutions, with the well-being of clients' employees at the center of focus. But you know what they say, the shoemaker's children always go barefoot, and that's exactly what our client feared. We took them to the construction site where all their questions could be answered. We took the architectural plans and sprayed lines where each office wall would be built, with departments distinguished by different colors. Upon arrival, every participant received this redrawn plan, and although we measured twice before spraying, some employees still brought their own measuring tape. And for those whose spatial visualization is not the best, we screened 3D visualizations in real space. The on-site meeting included presentations, or rather, the honest confessions of employees in charge of the big move. Every phase was also demonstrated on custom-made exhibition panels, which progressively moved the journey along the timeline. And for those who wanted privacy from time to time, we even marked where printers would be placed and noise-proof phone booths for those who prefer uninterrupted phone chats. We used a combination of visual and real experience to show where communal areas such as the canteen, the library, and even the nap room would be. This allowed employees to relax in bed and lounge in an armchair. Those spaces were also visualized on decorated walls, which, in keeping with the construction site style, used electric tape to express the new premises' originality. Based on the consequent feedback, we conclude that employees really appreciated being introduced to their new office right then and there. We noticed a really enthusiastic approach from employees to find out more about their office. Questions were answered and uncertainties clarified by giving the opportunity to experience their office in real time. We can say that the HB Revis kids, after this event, weren't even afraid to walk in their new offices barefoot.
The event in our next case study is a proud finalist in not 1 or 2, but an impressive 5 Eventex Awards categories: Public Event, Sporting Event, Sponsorship Experience, B2C Event, and Community Engagement Event. The coolest Icerink in the Netherlands was a true masterpiece, organized by the House of Sports in cooperation with Xsaga, an ever-present agency on our Eventex All-Stars ranking. The event welcomed more than 120,000 skating visitors in 41 public days and hosted at the ISU World All-Round Speed Skating Championships more than 50,000 spectators. Their objective was to be the biggest public event in the Olympic winter season 2018. The organizers made the Olympic Stadium in Amsterdam a location for everyone, young, old, man, woman, sportive, or recreative. How did they make it possible? Together with the Rijksmuseum of Amsterdam, they created a unique campaign where culture, sports, and entertainment were fused in one. Want to be involved in the biggest global event awards? Check out the different sponsorship and partnership opportunities, or apply for a speaker or a judge at Eventex.co. And now a case study about the annual event focused on blockchain solutions in the energy sector, EventHorizon 2018 Blockchain Summit. This fantastic event, organized by Stefanie Grundl and Media Apparat, is another great example of an innovative and sustainable approach to events. Highlights included an individually crafted storytelling experience, unique stage designs, and an interactive data extravaganza.
EventHorizon is the one exclusive annual event centered around blockchain solutions that already started to change the global energy industry, which is at a turning point. Kraftwerk Berlin, a former power plant, was carefully chosen as a storyful venue. Visual storytelling was manifested in every element of the event conference. The uniquely designed rotating main stage hosted a pioneering feature, a giant free-flying 720 degrees projection screen. Blockchain and networking were the guiding themes that were supported by a special network grid light beam show with more than 550 moving lights. An expo area was specially designed as visual extravaganza, using light blocks and laser beams to also represent a network. Among 5 stages, 2 silent pitching stages were operating with personal headphones and selectable audio channels. All stages, booths, and experiences were enhanced by an overlying playful interactive data theme park. Everything was interactive and personalized through an interconnected database that consisted of pre-collected facts and live data. This world novelty enabled dramaturgical storytelling. NFC badges triggered the brand new interactive media experiences. A welcome screen greeted the guests personally and surprised with a live facts news ticker. An ever-changing personalized newspaper with individualized articles was generated. Mood meeting rooms could be transformed into personalized feel-good environments. A matchmaking wall with statistical fun facts helped to break the ice. Exhibitors used a newly designed paperless lead generation tool via NFC. A sophisticated video station attracted attention with live-keyed video postcards. All official photographs were immediately tagged and directly delivered. Augmented reality signposts showed personalized directions, a world novelty. Everything was connected via the Navigator, a web-based platform that replaced cumbersome apps, pushing usage to almost 100%. Emotional memories were created with special live acts and a uniquely produced final aerial stunt show telling the tale of energy. The impact was big. All goals were reached. More than 75 million euros were generated as fundings, and a huge amount of data of this new field was collected. Visitors from more than 50 countries participated, including 57% of all startups in the sector worldwide. The number of affiliates of the umbrella organization rose from 49 to 79, representing 12% of the global energy market.
Obviously, the use of different technologies at events has huge impact on the overall event experience and offers amazing opportunities for the organizers. That's why we invited Brandt Krueger, owner of Event Technology Consulting, to share with us the top 5 upcoming tech trends in the event industry.
Hi everybody, Brandt Krueger, Event Technology Consulting. I'm here in Minnesota in the United States, where we're getting blasted with some cold air this winter. It's minus 25 degrees Fahrenheit. That's about minus 32 for the rest of the world out there. And for those of you that have moved on to the Kelvin scale, that's 241. Today we're going to be talking about technology trends that are going to be affecting the event industry. These are larger technology trends that are coming down the way. Some of it's going to affect us, some of it's going to not. We're going to have to wait and see whether or not it's going to be the hot new thing, or if it's just going to blow away in the air.
Whew, all right. So the first thing that I want to talk to you about is AI. Now, the waters are getting a little muddy here because everybody and their dog is using the phrase AI when really they can mean any number of things. So it's kind of become a bit of a marketing buzzword. And no doubt you've already noticed that AI is starting to creep its way into the marketing for event planners. So whether it's your event app or some kind of engagement app or something along those lines, we're seeing the word AI thrown into everything already. Well, unfortunately, that trend is going to continue. We're going to continue to see AI baked into everything. And the real issue is that make sure you understand exactly what that means when that company is using that phrase. So it can mean a lot of different things. It could mean machine learning, which is where you take a bunch of data and you give it to a computer to kind of chew on it, and it kind of discovers things on its own regarding what that data means and how it's used. It could also just mean, a lot of times they're using the phrase AI really to mean kind of little bots that all they do is, when I see this happen, then I make this happen. When I see this happen, then I make this happen. And we're starting to see that being used in financial industries, insurance industries, just to kind of speed up the processes. So instead of having 47 different codes for this and 47 different codes for that, and having some human have to cross-reference those codes, they're using just basically small bots to say, all right, when I see this code, I really mean this code. When I see this code, I really mean this code. It's kind of like macros if you used to work really heavily in Excel back in the day, only more kind of standalone things. So we're going to continue to see AI over the course of the next year or so, but it really might not be true artificial intelligence. It's just going to be these kinds of bots and machine learning things that are supposed to help us chew through large amounts of data. Now, speaking of large amounts of data, the next kind of overall trend I want to talk about is IoT, the Internet of Things. Everything will be smart and connected over the course of the next few years. We're already seeing an explosion in this area, right? We've got clocks, we've got virtual assistants, we've got microwaves, we've got fridges, we've got washing machines, we've got toilets. Everything is having a smart component to it these days, and everything is going to be connected to the internet. So what that means as far as potentially for events is we're already being kind of inundated with data already, and people planners' heads are starting to explode with the amount of data that they're getting out of the event apps with tracking technology such as RFID or other radio tracking technology. So we're already starting to be a little overwhelmed with the data. Well, I have bad news. It's going to get worse, right? Because as we get more and more access to the data from these devices, you're going to know so much about your attendees. The real problem is going to be, how do you get to the really good information contained within that data? So again, as you look to technology providers, make sure that at the end of it, they're not just going to hand you a bunch of data and you're going to have to sift through it on your own. Make sure you're finding a partner that's going to work with you to go through that data and give you a report to really dig down into the things that you want to know about your attendees. So more and more data coming as the IoT world continues to expand. We're going to see even more coming across your plate. So work with vendors that are going to help you sort it. The next trend is de-appification, right? So over the course of the last few years, we've seen the appification of events. We've seen, more and more events. I think the last statistic I saw was something like 50 to 60% of all events now have some kind of app associated with it. And that's been a slow crawl over the course of the last 5 years as we've ramped up to those numbers. Now, the overarching tech trend is actually starting to move away from that, which is the de-appification. So we're starting to see services bundled into the operating system, bundled into other services. So, our virtual assistants, I don't have to go to the Google homepage every time I want to look something up these days. I can actually just say to my assistant, hey, her, what's the drive time to such and such? I don't have to open the Maps app in order to do that. I don't have to open up my recipe book every time that I want to choose a recipe. I can just do that on my virtual assistant. So more and more of these things that we used to have dedicated apps for, used to have dedicated websites for, are being accessed via some other service or system, whether it's an operating system or virtual assistant. Now, we've already kind of seen the tip of the spear in the event industry, where we've already started to see some events that are moving away from using a traditional event app and moving toward using chatbots. Why? Because it's one less app for your attendees to install. They can already just text the chatbot through SMS messaging or through another messaging app like WhatsApp. So we're already starting to see this de-appification in the events industry, and looking forward, that's going to be more, we're going to see more of that as well. The next subject is kind of a wonky subject. It's a buzz phrase. You've heard it a lot on the mainstream news, starting to hear it a little bit in events, and that's blockchain, right? So you hear that in reference to Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. You don't have to worry about any of that. Just put that all out of your mind. What it was is it was an experiment in basically a distributed ledger, right? Can I have a ledger, an accurate and unchangeable ledger of who owns what or who has what? And originally it was cryptocurrency, right? I have 5 Bitcoin, you have 10 Bitcoin. And that ledger was distributed amongst everybody that had Bitcoin. So there was no way to cheat the ledger. There was no central bank keeping track of it. And so it's a distributed ledger. That's what blockchain is. But the technology is really interesting. And so people are starting to experiment already. Airlines are starting to experiment it, using it for ticketing. We're starting to see banks experiment with it for their own kind of virtual currencies. And where it's going to impact our world is going to be on ticketing and registration. Anytime you have to keep track of who owns what, who's registered for what, there's an opportunity for blockchain to potentially be a part of the equation. So keep an eye on that, especially in the ticketing and registration spaces. And finally, augmented reality and virtual reality, AR and VR. There is a lot of money being dumped into AR and VR right now. A lot of major U.S. government contracts just got signed. Walmart and a few other corporations are starting to invest heavily in this technology. So what that means is as that money comes in, we're going to see big advances in the quality and reality of these experiences. So this tech is going to evolve very rapidly over the course of the next year or so. It's no longer just investment money. It's big-time money, government money coming into these systems. So expect this technology to jump by leaps and bounds over the course of the next year or so. That's going to be showing itself in a couple of different ways. We're going to have attendee-facing experiences that are going to be amazing, mind-blowing virtual reality experiences or augmented reality where we're layering something over the room. Maybe it's a virtual trade show or team-building activities. All of these kinds of things are just going to get way, way better over the course of the next year. It also means we're starting to see investment in behind-the-scenes AR and VR uses, venue sales, planning itself. So we've already seeing apps where they're starting to use virtual reality. It's All Seated is an app that comes to mind. Where they're using virtual reality for the planning phase, where you can go to the venue and you can see how it's going to look laid out with this type of table set or that type of table set or rounds or classroom, and you can walk and move through the room. So we're going to start using that more on the back end. Imagine being able to see your event fully realized in virtual reality, move around, walk you through it, and then be able to say, you know what, this feels really tight with the chairs and that kind of thing. Let's try and knock it down to a different kind of table configuration. All before you get there on site. So really amazing things coming down the way. Those are my top 5 trends that I see impacting the event industry over the course of the next few years. Some of it's already here, some of it's still coming, and thank you so much for watching.
That's it for the first day of Eventex Creative Week. Hope you feel inspired and extra motivated to rock the events world. Thanks for joining us, and tune in tomorrow at 5 p.m. UTC for the second day of Eventex Creative Week. See you then.